Hi, I'm Jono, and if you're new here, I do pencil drawings. I'm in a new studio again, so in this video we're doing a studio tour. Also a huge thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. I've been in this new studio for just about a month now, and I feel like we're finally at a point where I can share the space with you guys and make a studio tour video. I've been working pretty hard on this space, but I'm really happy with how it's come out. The last studio tour video was a studio in Woodstock, which you guys saw. Really beautiful space, but it was a little bit small, and there were a bunch of things that I wasn't happy with in that space. And then we spent a bit of time in a house just up the road, which had different rooms, so everything was compartmentalized. We had an admin room, a video editing room, a dedicated little drawing room for myself, which was cool, but quite small, and then a little photographic room. But here we have 120 squares of dedicated space where we can just do everything we need, and everything is just a couple steps away, which is absolutely perfect. So I'm going to hand the camera over to Gina, and she's going to take you with us as we go through. So on my right here is the talking head rig. So it's just basically a softbox with a mic attached to it with a magic arm. This mic is complete overkill. It's an NTG Rode NTG3, which, yeah, I didn't need to get that mic, but I've been geeking out on tech, and it's responsible for all the super juicy audio. And then we have a storage area over here with a bit of a tool wall with just some of my tools, the essential hairdryer with the angle grinder. Those two things, use them in conjunction, you can make something really beautiful. Jokes, I don't know why the hairdryer is there. It's just somewhere to put it for now. But yeah, the idea for the space was to have an area where I could make mess and like maybe build some things or fix furniture when it broke and just do whatever, maybe even printmaking in the future, which would be really cool. But right now, it's where we store everything that we don't want to look at. So this is the place that I don't want to spend too much time looking at. And then moving into the space that I spend the most amount of time in, this is my drawing table and the drawing area. This is a custom built table, was made at a height that really suited me quite nicely. I had it built quite a while ago, and it's come with me quite a long way, which is great. Yeah, and then above me is a top-down rig that we built. I ordered these super long steel beams to be cut to size, and then when they delivered them, they delivered like 6-meter long beams, which are way too long. So we had to cut them ourselves, which was quite a bit of fun and a nice excuse to do an angle grinding slow-mo montage. But yeah, there's a camera attached to that, so I can have a stable top-down shot permanently set up. So all I have to do when I start drawing is click this remote, the camera starts up. When I finish drawing, click it again, and again. Okay. And then it stops. So that's super convenient. But yeah, the space is super nice. I've got loads of space around the drawing table, which is essential. So I can just walk all the way around my drawing. I don't feel claustrophobic or anything. There's beautiful light coming through these massive steel windows, which is such a dream to work in. And then I just spend all my time here listening to music or audiobooks and trying to get drawing done. And then behind me is this beautiful easel that my friend Greg built for me. It's just two French, or at the moment just one French cleat. And then we hang the easel on, and if I need to step back from my artwork and yeah, have a look at it, I can use that to do that. Usually, I like to work flat, so usually I'll wait until the end of the drawing, put it onto the easel, and then try and get a sense of what I need to change. But it's become more and more useful to use the different perspective to make sure that I'm getting everything looking the way that I want it to look. Yeah, and then what else do we have here? We've got a bunch of tools. All my tools are in this shelf, so it's just an arm's reach away. I've got a bunch of fresh pencils over here, and as they get used, they turn into tiny little stale old pencils, like these guys here. I like to keep them all just to remind me about how far I've come. And underneath my table is a cool little gadget. This is my air compressor. And I actually use this. This has been quite a crucial thing in keeping my work clean. So as I work, things will get more and more like dusty and messy or whatever. And I can just, whoops, I can just blow all the dust away. And I've started even using this to erase and get like a really smooth transition in the graphite. And if I press it enough, then it turns on. And it sounds really cute. This is my little, it's so cute. So anyway, that lives under my table. And yeah, it just reminds me to breathe. That's pretty much the studio section. Okay, moving on to the photo section. I'm really happy to have this setup. This has been my dream setup for a very long time. I really like to work with photography quite actively in my creative process. So it's really important for me to have a dedicated photo area. So I've got my speed lights, which I primarily use. Those are just strobes, so they go on and off. I actually think the remote is over here. So I'll usually be in this area over here, and then I'll set up like a self-timer on the camera because I don't know if you know, but I usually model for most of my work myself. And that just involves a bunch of jumping around the studio naked, hopefully when no one's here watching me. But since I have a team with me nowadays, I'm going to be installing a curtain over here for some privacy. So if I'm shooting a model or myself or whatever that might be, I can control the light better. And this area will just be a little bit more conducive to taking photos. But I'm so happy to have like this dedicated area for photography and just helping me brainstorm things. It's basically just an infinity sheet or these infinity backdrops, which I had like screwed into the wall. They've come with me for quite a long way. They were in my previous studio as well. The work that I currently have on display over here is this is Harm, and this is in preparation. I'm going to be doing a video pretty soon about how to photograph your artwork, moving from just photographing your artwork with like a phone camera to if you have a proper DSLR, how do you use that with some strobe lights eventually, and then the final phase, which is like scanning. So I suppose that's the whole video. I probably don't need to make that video anymore. But that's why this is set up here. Yeah, and another important thing about this area is I needed a lot of depth. So I've got about 6 or 7 meters here, which is really important. When I started out, I was only shooting in my room and I had like 2 meters to try and shoot a model in, which was so narrow. So I'd be using like a 16mm lens to get a really wide angle. And I was stuck with this perspective in my references it was really difficult to work with. So now having that depth is a massive luxury for me. And I'm so happy to be able to shoot like that permanently, have it set up, not have anything move. I can go back to my drawing table and just leave everything the way it is because there's enough space. Yeah. Behind you over here is where I usually set up my camera. So it'll be in this tiny little alleyway. On the right of me is a little kitchenette. Left of me is a little bathroom, which is great to have. Then, anyway, I'll put the camera here and then link it up to the iPad over here. And it's a really nice workload because I can control it completely on the iPad, take photos, it'll get sent directly to the NAS, and then I have access to it on any of the computers and can edit it there. Yeah, so that's the photo section where a lot of the thinking and planning gets done. So that's in the middle of the studio, which is really important. And then we have Robin, which Robin is my social media manager and is responsible for all the nice, consistent content that I've been putting out lately. She helped me design a posting schedule and just really brought in some organization to what was happening on social media, which has been fantastic. And then above her is a to-do list for everybody. So everyone, Anna, Robs, Gina, they've got loads of responsibilities. And then I just got a drawer, which is how it should be, I hope. Then moving on to the space here, this is where my video editor and videographer Jono works. So she lives here. But this area is amazing. I've put a lot of love into this section. I used to do all the video editing and stuff, so this is kind of how I used to work and spend a lot of time. So I love this area, but yeah, we've got a motorized desk, so it can go up and down, which is just really lovely for not getting us all back and staying in the same position all the time. Got some soundboards in front just to do the bare minimum of sound treatment, some studio monitors so we can monitor the audio and get all the levels looking good. Yeah, which I'm really, really happy about. And then one of my favorite cupboards right here, this is the gear cupboard. Got all of our lenses. All of this stuff took a very, very long time to build up. So yeah, a little Fun thing here, this is probably the cheapest thing in the cupboard and also the most valuable thing. It was such a small investment, but it turned out to be responsible for some of like the juiciest shots that we've ever shot. Moving into the center of the studio here, the hub, the heart, is Anna. And she is my studio manager. She put the whole team together. She's helped me for the last over a year now. She's been with me and just kind of transforming everything that I do into a way more streamlined and wonderful space to be in. So that's Anna's doing. And this is her desk. Also equally as valuable to me is this beautiful, beautiful desk that Anna likes to just claim the one section of. But yeah, behind her are a bunch of my drawings. It's really nice to have my work in the space. It reminds me of what I've done, where I've come from, and it's just a really good reminder to have some of your work in your space. I think that was one of the rules of thumb for me, was all the work that I produce, I want to keep it with me. I think that's kind of the benchmark for what you design or what you produce, and it's really lovely for me to have that stuff here. This area here is the lounge area. It's super warm and cozy. There's a nice soft carpet, some soft couches for if anyone is not feeling like being at their desk, they can just come and relax here a bit. And I think when we just taking a break, this is a nice area to relax in. Beautiful light coming in, some flowers, some books, light reading. But yeah, so that's pretty much the studio. The space is more than I could have ever hoped for. It's a really incredible space to be in. I'm so also grateful to have this team with me as well. It's quite a new thing. I've usually just been alone and in a much smaller space. So it's a game changer to have people helping me with everything that we're doing. And yeah, the space is 120 squares, as I said in the beginning. And it's more than what I needed at first, but I want to grow into it quite a bit. So hopefully do things like have a podcast and invite other artists to work with me and maybe do printmaking or whatever it might be. Hopefully the space can allow me to do that. So before I end this video, I just want to give a quick shout out to this video sponsor, Squarespace. I've been working with them for quite a long time now, not only in sponsoring these videos and helping me maintain this channel, but early on in my career, I was looking for a platform to make it easy to show my work and to make it easy for clients to get in touch with me. And I just felt that Squarespace did that effortlessly. I never had to patch or upgrade anything. I could register a domain with them and set up an online store. And most importantly, I could show my work the way that I wanted to. Also, every time I got stuck, their amazing support team helped me out instantly. So if you're looking at building a website, give Squarespace a try. And if you decide that you love them, use this offer code and get 10% off your first purchase. Let me know what you guys think. If there's anything interesting or that you want to know more of, let me know in the comments. I love reading those and I can get back to you there. If you found it interesting, leave a like. It helps the channel out in a huge way. And as always, thanks for the support. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.